In the main event, there's some similarities actually between this main event and the co-main event. But starting with the main event, it's really with Thiago Alves. Thiago brings more of your traditional, linear, powerful Muay Thai to the game. He trains a ton of wrestling, so it won't surprise me if he does go for some takedowns against Carlos Condit. Traditionally, in the fights that we've seen Carlos Condit lose, you usually see someone at least land a few takedowns and try to control him for a while because he's just such a dynamo when he's on the feet. For Carlos, I think footwork is going to be really big. How well does that knee hold up? He says it's 100%. You just never know until you see a guy when he's live. But he's got to be moving. He's got to move around. He's got to go righty. He's got to go lefty. He's got to throw a lot of different dimensions and a lot of depth and a lot of levels with his striking with Thiago Alves, because you just don't want to stand in front of a guy like Alves, as we learned when Thiago fought Jordan Meehan. For Thiago, the big thing is if he's too linear. We've seen Carlos Condit thrive on guys who are stationary and kind of fight on a straight line. So I want to see what else Thiago Alves adds to his game. And we saw in the open workout, he's doing a lot more southpaw than he used to do as well. We see him working and improving his ground game. So I'm looking to see which fighter adds something new to their arsenal to beat each other. But going to be real exciting. Obviously, a fight most of us expect to take place on the feet. I would imagine a couple rounds could be stolen by some intermittent, well-timed takedowns, but we'll find out. The co-main event is very similar in Nick Lentz taking on Charles Oliveira, in that Oliveira has excellent striking, and he likes to move in a linear fashion. He likes to keep you in front of him where he'll unload on those combinations. Nick Lentz has worked tremendously on developing his striking so that he can be all over the place. The one thing his coaches are talking about is how he's added a lot of depth to his striking. He's throwing 5 and 6 and 7 strike combinations now, finished with high kicks, low kicks, body, and he's a guy who prefers to take guys down from the body lock. Oliveira, he's a guy who doesn't care if he gets taken down. He really believes that if you're in his weight division, you should be afraid of his guard. And he does have one of the most fun guard games to watch. So I'm excited. If this fight hits the floor, I want to see who's got the superior grappling there. But traditionally, what we've seen in the UFC is the guy who's on his back more often loses. But we'll see how that plays out in the co-main event.
And which other fights?
The other fights I'm looking forward to, obviously, the Wilson Hayes fight taking on Jussier Formiga is a great fight at flyweight. All of a sudden, we've got depth in the flyweight division. Formiga is on a heck of a run with some big wins. Wilson's looked the best he's ever looked as well. So I'm really excited. Hayes is a physically stronger, more powerful athlete. But Formiga is a guy who came into the UFC primarily a jiu-jitsu specialist, and his striking has grown by leaps and bounds, specifically in his movement. He's ducking, he's slipping, he's sliding punches now and countering you. Not only countering you with strikes, but the guy can take your back from anywhere. If you miss with a left hook or you miss with a kick and he gets a wrap around your body, he'll actually climb on top of you rather than try and take you down first. And from there, he's just so dangerous he can get your back. So that's a fight that I've really got my eye on. And then obviously another one too for me is Mirsad Bektic versus Lucas Martins. I think that's a fantastic fight. I think Martins has had a really tough run in who he's fought in the UFC so far. He's fought some really good guys. He's very well rounded. He's solid. But Mirsad Bektic is a guy who's already at that next level, who I expect to see fighting top 10, top 5 guys in the next 18 months. So this could be a huge win for Lucas Martins if he could beat Bektic. But Bektic's a guy coming out of American Top Team that they've had their eye on, they've been touting as a great prospect for a long time.